This is our trip to Turkey. We decided to go to two destinations, Cappadocia and Istanbul. Join us on our little highlight reel of the spectacular holiday destination. In Cappadocia, we stayed at a place called Urgel, which is a little town outside the main tourist town known as Goreme. Accommodation here was cheaper and only about 20 minutes away. While still being a collection point for shuttles when doing excursions, Urgel is known for boutique hotels, rock-cut churches, caves and underground cities. Next, we had an early start for the experience of a lifetime, doing the famous hot air balloon trip. After getting collected from our hotel by the shuttle at 4 am, you arrive at dawn and witness all the balloons being inflated and slowly rising into the golden morning sky. Cappadocia hot air balloons have become a major tourist attraction in the region, with hundreds of balloons taking to the skies each day. The hot air balloons offer an unparalleled view of Cappadocia's landscapes, with the opportunity to see the rock formations, valleys and cities from above. Today, Cappadocia is known as one of the best places in the world to experience hot air ballooning, with hundreds of hot air balloon companies offering flights over the region's stunning landscape. Our pilot told us that there were over 130 balloons airborne during our flight. It is truly a magical experience, just floating up there and absorbing the panoramic scenery around you. Landing is also a whole next experience, watching the 4x4 and trailer come racing over the valleys to literally catch us and safely lower us onto the flatbed trailer, then slowly escorting us to a safe field where they deflate the balloon and we all share a non-alcoholic glass of champagne, as well as receive a certificate to celebrate our experience with them. Goreme is well known for its panoramic valleys with eroded rock formations called rock fairy chimneys. Also boutique hotels created out of old cave homes, many of which were hollowed out in the Middle Ages to create houses, churches and underground cities. There are loads of tourist attractions to take part in, all companies offering very similar packages, so it does not really matter which company you choose. We definitely got our steps in each day exploring each town. You really can get lost in the beautiful landscape that surrounds you. There are many activities and places to see around the region. We visited Uçhisar Castle, which is a 60-meter high rock-formed castle where you get stunning panoramic views of Cappadocia from the top. We explored many wondrous valleys for walks, such as Pigeon Valley, Love Valley and Red Valley as well, which are a great way to get closer view of the famous rock formations and caves. We signed up for one of the many ATV sunset tours. These tours are a great activity option for those seeking a few hours of fun and adventure outdoors. They provide an opportunity for great sightseeing as you are enabled to roam the hills, valleys, dunes and trails of Cappadocia. There are hundreds of ATVs all doing similar routes, and you'll all end up on an iconic rock hill to view the sunset lowering itself behind the rocky hills. Once the sun has set, you and the masses of ATVs all head back at the same time, covering the horizon with dust in the orange sky, which is quite an amazing experience. We decided we wanted to explore the less tourist areas, so we hired a motorized scooter, which was definitely a winner. We tested its limits by even taking it off-road for some fun and more off-the-beaten track exploring. A perfect cheap way to get around, plus you have the freedom to explore where you want and at your own time schedule. We saw some gorgeous little outback towns away from the tourist areas, as well as rock caves, and ate at many of the local restaurants. It was a bit daunting to learn to drive on the right hand side of the road for a change, but you pick it up quite quickly. Even Serena got to have some fun behind the wheel. We explored some of the rock caves, churches and underground cities that had been built in the soft volcanic rock by the pilgrims a long time ago. We were told that it was mainly for the security of the inhabitants. It is said to be over 100 tunnels of the underground city, and some of them are still used today as storage areas, stables and cellars. We found some magical rock churches that are open to the public with little nature walks through the valleys. Everywhere you walk, you just can't get enough of the beauty that surrounds you. Kaimakli Underground City is one of the huge underground cities that we decided to explore. That is definitely worth visiting. One can get lost when exploring these tunnels, as they are composed of hundreds of rooms which are connected to one another through long galleries, labyrinth-like tunnels and passageways, all leading in many directions. Kaimakli has 8 levels, but only 4 were open when we attended. Be wary if you are a bit claustrophobic, as some of the tunnels can get very, very narrow, but they usually open to a big room where you can catch your breath again. Next up, we headed over to Istanbul, which is the largest city in Turkey and home to the world's most famous mosques, palaces and churches. It is the only city in the world that straddles 2 continents, located both in Europe and Asia. It is known to be the most populated city in Europe and also holds one of the oldest and biggest markets in the world, known as the Grand Bazaar. There are said to be more than 3,000 places of worship in the capital of Turkey. There is tremendous variety, some of the places featuring soaring domes and are filled with pattern style and calligraphy, while others are sleek, minimal and modern. Turkish culture is known for its cuisine, music, art, language and religion, and all of these elements combine to create a unique and fascinating culture. One thing worth doing is boarding one of the boats near the harbour front for a sunset cruise on the Bosphorus Strait. You get stunning views of the waterfront which display many hotels, mosques, restaurants and walkways. The boat turns around after the famous Bosphorus Bridge, then hugs the opposite side of the waterway, so you get a complete different view. Make sure you do pack warmly, as once the sun sets, it does get a bit chilly with the cold ocean breeze. The Bosphorus Straits is an international waterway that connects the Black Sea to the Sea of Marmara. It forms the boundary between Asia and Europe, as well as divides Turkey. It is the narrowest strait used for international navigation. We did not take much footage at the Grand Bazaar, but be sure to take lots of local currency, the Turkish lira. And that's it for my video. Thanks for watching and see you next time.